Something big is about to change, and that blog post from Google gives us the hint. We've been in a phase of the internet where the internet started on a desktop, and for the last 20 years that we've had the internet available to everybody, the search engines have built their indexing and their performance metrics mostly on desktop measurements. Of course, in the meantime, the mobile world has taken off, and more and more people are accessing the web through a cell phone. So what it means is that there's a discrepancy. There's been a growing discrepancy between the installed base and what people are doing with the internet, which is accessing it from a mobile device, and what the search engines have done, which is prioritizing desktop and ranking sites based on desktop pages. The last time Google changed their algorithm for rankings was April 21, 2015. I'm going to highlight it here. We are in 2017, we're April 2017. It's been 2 years since the last time that Google changed their mobile rankings, and it's going to be the first time, anytime now, that Google moves to a mobile first indexing. So what does it mean for site owners? The first thing that it means is that you need to have a site, we all need to have a site that works on both desktop and mobile and tablet, various form factors. And that ability for a site to run on multiple form factors is called a responsive site. And essentially, if you already have a responsive site, which is part, hopefully, of your theme, it has to be part of your theme if you're running WordPress, or it has to be part of your website design. If you're not running WordPress, if you're running just a custom app, it has to be part of your design. But what it means is that if your site is already responsive, you should have almost nothing to do. And that mobile first indexing, which will impact a lot of sites, will not impact you, or it will benefit you because your site is responsive, which means that you're showing almost the same content to desktop users and to mobile users, and the user experience adapts to the form factor. Now, that being said, there is one thing that we need to think about, which is the performance and the speed of the site, particularly in mobile. When we look at this that way, the first thing that comes to mind is AMP HTML. So if we look at the First Practica site, we just posted an article today on international expansion for companies. That URL, of course, can be made because the site is responsive. I'm going to click on inspect. And basically here I selected the mobile version. You can see that on your browser, you can select which device you would like to simulate. I'm simulating a Nexus. We're going to take an iPhone. Very, very similar. But basically here we've got the mobile site. And then we can test the speed of that mobile site. This is the AMP page. Let's take page speed in sites. Measure this. So this is basically the standard web page. And that's what most users have been getting right now. And you can see that right now the desktop is getting 85, it's green. The mobile could be a little bit better because we've got the theme doing some render blocking, CSS and JavaScript in multiple places. And that's basically what Google is hoping that site owners can improve. So one way to improve all this is to create AMP pages. This is the canonical page, which, as you can see, is just the URL with no AMP appended to it. And this is the AMP page. So if you don't know about AMP, check the other blog post on our site because we talk about AMP quite a bit and we show how you can enable AMP on your website. But essentially, AMP is a special URL on your website and it runs from a plugin, and it removes all of the JavaScript and the things that typically make a mobile page slower. And you can see that this page, even if it's pretty fast here, doesn't look exactly the same. Even if it has the same content, it doesn't look exactly the same as this page, which is the AMP page. Now the AMP page, when we tested it, much better. So 95 and 86 on mobile, 86 from 69. So we gained essentially 17 points on speed for mobile specifically, because that's going to be the focus of Google going forward with this mobile first indexing with AMP HTML. So if you just want to have the basics, you need to have a responsive or dynamic serving site. If you have a responsive site and dynamic site, you're halfway there. If you also create AMP pages, then I think you're mostly there, because all of your glitches that you have in the theme for mobile that may not impact the users very much, but Google may see and they may think that it should be faster, that becomes addressed as soon as you add an AMP page and you adopt that strategy. From a speed perspective, you will solve that problem. So that's a very quick way of looking at the upcoming change. There's no date at the moment. You see that they released this in November 2016, and they said they would experiment, and they are experimenting, but it's getting very close to Google being ready, and probably in the next few weeks they will issue a release saying, hey, now we're moving to mobile first at that particular date. And it's a good time right now for you to get ready. All right, cheers.